meeting you.
Okay.
Have fun. Be careful.
Bye-bye.
Don't die.
All right.
What's up? How you doing?
Good, man. So I heard that Sneako non-apology.
Yeah, publicly it's probably about as much as he can do, I imagine.
Maybe I misheard. Did he not admit that he was doing that for like Muslim clout openly?
I mean, that's what he said in DMs. I think I brought that up. Did he admit that openly? I don't remember. Did he?
I think he did.
No.
That was like really surprising when he said that. I'm like, what a loser. Imagine being that desperate for the group that you would like quasi throw your friend under the bus, even jokingly, to like get in with them. Like that's so loserish.
Yeah, a little disappointing for sure. Yeah.
No, but not that surprising. Honestly, the Genesis. Me and him had collaborated once during the pandemic, like really early on. Mm-hmm. We did a video together because he'd gotten robbed. He gotten robbed by a guy. Some guy threw a brick through his window and wanted to fight him. Okay. And he felt really emasculated because like the guy pretty much like being a peeping Tom on on him and his girl having sex. So they left the curtain open. The guy was kind of just staring. And he said something. The guy threw a brick through his window. And he said, yo, I'm going to come find you. I'll kill you, whatever. So Sneako from that point on was like terrified, didn't know how to handle it. And instead of fighting the dude, which he really wanted to do, he moved away. So I decided to do a video with him. I hit him up. I wanted to talk about it. And I was like, just telling him, like, yeah, I feel like not much of a man. I feel like a punk or a bitch. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I understand that feeling. But at the same time, it's like, you don't know this guy. You don't got no weapon. You don't know what this guy is. You told me he's a bit shifty. Like, you did the smart thing to be able to protect you and your girlfriend is to leave. Yeah. Obviously, you weren't attached to an apartment. If it's an unsafe area and an unsafe place and you can afford to move elsewhere, and that seems like the most sensible thing from someone who's threatening your life, right?
For sure, yeah.
So that was like Genesis. And then we didn't speak again for like a year. And he started streaming. And then I just heard through like somebody hit me up. It's like, yo, Sneako's talking crazy about you online. So I hit him up privately. And I was like, yo, what's going on? I heard you was talking about me. And he's like, oh, yeah, this and that. I'm like, cool. You want to talk about it? He's like, why don't we talk about it on stream? I was like, no, we can just talk about it offline. He's like, no, we can talk about it on stream. I was like, sure. And I think that was a moment that kind of clicked in my head for me, that this guy is like really obsessed with like, I guess, kind of monetizing everything or any disagreement. Mm-hmm. And I think that further became cemented to me, not the first time he brought on Nick Fuentes, but the second. You remember that?
The second I did or he did?
He did that. Remember we were in a call. It was just me, you, and him. Mm-hmm. And then I told him like, yo, don't bring on Nick Fuentes again. Like I did that the first time, but like you just bring him on randomly when I'm not expecting. Like I'm not rocking with that. And literally 30 seconds later, he brings him on. Do you remember that?
I don't. But there's all that whole year blurs together for me.
Yeah. But anyways,
I think I kind of do though, because I think was it just you, me, him? Was Gideon there as well, or?
That time Gideon wasn't there. No. But anyways, he brought him on, and I just ended up leaving the call. And I remember his editor's like, Abel runs away from Nick Fuentes or some other bullshit.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we'd already had this conversation. Mm-hmm. I thought it was weird that you're bringing on this white supremacist dude to come here and say, like, he doesn't want mixed people to exist and all this other shit. Uh-huh. I let it slide the first time. I was like, it just dawned on me, the dude's just a big liability. The dude, he's obsessed with how people perceive him. He's really concerned with making sure he maintains some kind of image, mm-hmm. and he doesn't care what he does to the people around him in that process. And so me seeing his behavior with you was just not surprising because it's what I'd seen from him before. So I wasn't disappointed or sad or whatever. It's like I always thought he was kind of untrustworthy because he's more concerned with how he's perceived than anything else. So, I don't know for you if you were expecting better behavior from him.
No, I mean, like it's pretty obvious. Like, there's probably going to be missteps in the future too, because he's like, obviously he's very desperate for validation from his new community, and I'm like literally like the existential, like I'm like the embodiment of everything that community hates, right? Like polycuck that plays video games and is like a progressive liberal with blue hair. So yeah, I imagine it's probably going to happen again in the future. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, him equating you having a conversation or talking about Andrew Tate and like. To him saying stuff about sleeping with your wife was so stupid.
Especially lying about it, too, is the thing that bothers me the most. Like, if Melina had actually propositioned him publicly or even privately, I think I'd feel a little bit differently, but it's the fact that it's a lie. That's, like, the most...
Well, he doesn't think it's a lie.
No. He knows it's a lie. I know it. And I know because everything. I know that's not what he said, but like he even DM'd her like 2 weeks ago asking if she wanted to come on to do like collab content. So he clearly is not. And I even asked him that one question: did every woman that DM'd you to go on a podcast, do you think that they all want to fuck you? And he's like, obviously, he's fucking just talking shit, right? Yeah.
He came on. He's like, oh, if women DM me, it's because they want to fuck. In my world, that's what that means. And I was like, but you out here messaging her. It's like, what do you even say?
Yeah.
It was a very bizarre thing to watch you guys interact because I was like, what is this line argument? And he knew it was wrong because he'd asked you before he even uploaded the image beforehand because he was just thinking to himself, like, I understand how this can be perceived. I want to make sure Destiny's cool with it. But for him to go on the podcast and make it seem like it was a real thing when he knew initially it was supposed to be a joke was just weird.
Yeah, and that's the thing why...
On the podcast, for him to come here afterwards and be like, well, she did message me and women only. I think part of him thinks that your wife does want to. I think that's what he.
I don't think so. I think he knows he's full of shit. Nah, I think he knows he's full of shit because we've all we've hung out before. Like we've done content. Like I think he knows. I think that it's a way for him to get a lot of credit with his community, right? Like fuck. I don't want to. Wait, hold on 1 second. Okay, don't mention that in particular, but I'll unmute. But yeah, I think that's probably a decently big part of it. Yeah.
Okay. No, I won't mention any of that. Give me a second.
Sure.
I think as far as this whole situation goes, I think it's to be expected, but not surprising. Is there a part of you that's feeling different about the whole situation? Or I know you said you're not surprised by it, but it does seem like you're still a bit bothered by it. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it's always annoying when it happens. It's stupid. But I mean, I think that most of my bridge burnings, I think historically, have come about as a result of like these kinds of like pressured political differences. So I might be on good terms with somebody, but they're in a radically different political community. And then because they get a lot of pressure from that community, they end up having to burn me publicly because it's like, oh, I'm not friends with that Destiny guy. He's a Nazi. He's a rapist. He's a whatever. Like, yeah, that's where a lot of my old fallings out from like my far left leaning friends basically came about because of that.
That does make sense. I think if people are very tied to some kind of political image, them being seen as friends with you is almost like they're tacitly agreeing or endorsing or accepting stuff that you say.
It's not like political image. It's just like social circles. I wish it was as deep as political images, but it's not really. It's just like their friends hate me, so they feel like they have to hate me. It's because they need like that social acceptance.
If you came out and you're like, you know what, I don't think Russia's that bad, wouldn't that Ukrainian chick also be like, yo, fuck this guy?
Yeah, probably, but she's Ukrainian and Russia's committing war crimes against her country right now, so yeah, I can understand that.
Okay.